everyone, Dr. Matt Geller here. I'm here with Dr. Jessilin Quint, practice owner at Smart Eye Care in Maine. So leadership's very important, especially when you own a large practice like you do. What does it mean to you?
Leadership, I think, means, leading, right? Like taking the reins of something and making it better than you found it, being an example to a group of people, rallying those people together towards a common goal. There's a lot of different leadership styles, and I think it's been really cool for my adventures to kind of learn what those different styles are and how you can kind of grow and adapt. There's a lot of different books and podcasts and whole worlds and conventions that developed just towards leadership. But I think you have to kind of figure out what your style is and kind of hone that in. Yep. And don't be afraid to grow with it. In my practice, we have really tried to create a culture that has ideal team players, and part of that came from the Ideal Team Player book by Patrick Leonacci, and he says that the ideal team player is somebody who's hungry, not physically hungry, but hungry who's willing to be a self-starter, somebody who's humble, leaving the ego at the door, yep. Being able to kind of have that self-awareness, and then somebody who's smart, not just intellectually smart, but emotionally smart, being able to read your coworkers, being able to read patients and appropriately make decisions based on that. And I think kind of going back to that is huge, because if at the end of the day, for our culture, if we don't have ideal team players, we can't do things at the scale that we want to without that teamwork.
So sometimes it's very interesting how we transition to becoming a leader, or maybe we were always a leader but it was dormant, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I am a leader because some event or something happened. What was that for you?
I think the biggest kind of springboard for that was when I bought my practice. I've always been in leadership roles, I've been involved in different organizations, but all of a sudden it was, hey, you own this practice, and still I am very enthusiastic, all these great ideas, and then all of a sudden you're the person in charge and you have to be the one that implements that. And I feel like looking back, my first year in private practice being an owner was great, but also really challenging. Being a leader felt really lonely. Yeah. It was a year of transition from a previous owner to a new one, where company culture was shifting, goals were shifting, it just changed. And that year felt, leadership sometimes can be really lonely, right? If you're the one that's leading the pack, and you just have to trust that the process everybody will get on board eventually, or the right people will get on board. But that was tough, like having to, remember why we're doing that, and to not be afraid to still be bold and to go after it, even though at times it felt very much going against the grain. I think it's important to keep your support system, whoever that is for you, your family, your friends, mentors. A hobby, exactly. Mentorship is huge, and it's going to ebb and flow. You're going to have great days, not so great days, and you just roll with it.
Yeah. Well, I love these topics: practice marketing, practice building, leadership. All of them are so cohesive in a way, so it really seems like you've come quite far and will be really successful in the future.
Thank
so thanks
you.
for coming on.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yep.